episode 87. I have a special guest in the building who hasn't been on for 9 long months.
A whole baby back here. Whole baby.
And I guess we kind of just really get into it. Like, I'm not in an intro kind of mood at the moment. I just want to kind of talk about some shit, right? So I do want to talk about you and your transition from Austin to Houston, because last time you were on the pod, you were located in Austin.
Yes.
I think maybe the week after, a week or two after, that's when you left to Houston.
Yeah.
So we didn't get you back for a new episode till now, like 87. I think your last episode was 55.
Oh my gosh. There's been so much. I'm just now as a resident enjoying Houston. When I first moved, I moved in October. And I still didn't even enjoy it fully, start enjoying it until my birthday in December, maybe. Because I was still working, going back and forth from Austin. And it was crazy. When I lived in Austin, I was out enjoying Houston a lot more.
As most do.
You know, and I was like, dang, I'm here. I'm at home, and then I'm shooting to Austin. So now I'm a little more settled, but I'm still coming back to Austin for work and handling stuff in Houston. But it's just like everything has just literally switched. So I'm living in Houston, but I'm coming back to Austin all the time for clients. So now I'm sitting here like, well, dang, did I make the right move? Should I move from Austin? Because it's like my business was doing well in Houston when I was in Austin. Now my business has skyrocketed now that I'm in Houston. So it's a mess.
You know, there's one thing about that, right? So, like, for whatever reason, Austin's "you made it" is Houston.
For
like,
sure.
people who live in Austin look at Houston as like, "Are you there?"
Which is so weird.
It is weird because Austin technically should house the more opportunities.
For sure. And you know what I think is so weird? A lot of people, which I hate when I see people talking about how people don't support, how people support who they want to support, or who's people who are popular. And the truth is, they're in the same circles that they've grown up with. They're in the same people who they went to high school with, who lived, who were cousins and stuff like that, trying to get support from them when everybody knows your support are from strangers. And so they're not going outside of their little bubble to see that there really is support in Austin. And you'd be surprised how many events there are for Black business owners now, and Black creators now, and people are just within themselves and in that little barrel, crabs in a barrel thing. But there's so much more out there, but they're so used to looking for their friends to support and the people they went to school with and the people they know to support, that when they see them not support, it's just like, well, y'all only want to do who y'all want to do, when it's like these people that they're supporting were strangers to them. Like, they've just seen them put in the work, and it's just like, are you putting in the work? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Like, you're depending on these people to support, but are you doing what you need to do behind closed doors that people can see you, not just, your family? You're going to them and be like, hey, can you please post this, or can you please do this? Because the support will come.
I think that that's something that's even true to the podcast, because, like, majority of people who listen to this podcast don't live in Austin. And majority of people I have on the podcast live in Austin. Right. So, like, there's always that dynamic of people, like, seeing you do something that's really positive and not knowing how to support. Right. Because when you're looking from the outside in, like, if you're a person who's in a different country or a different state, you see exactly how to support, versus that person being on your timeline for the last 15 years because y'all went to school together.
Exactly.
And you're seeing not only the support stuff, you're also seeing just their regular life, and you don't really know where to go to support, no matter how many times you post it. Like, the algorithm is that. Like, it exists. Sure. But yeah, I can definitely attest to, like, people not supporting the podcast. And I fell into that really early, like, of being upset. I'm like, dog, like, I helped you do this.
Yeah.
Like, dog, you didn't have a car, bro. Like, I took you from home to work, and we worked in opposite directions for years. You didn't have a car, but I still fuck with you. And, like, I had your back. And now all of a sudden, like, it's a funky podcast, your little podcast. Like, I got it. It's cool. But, like the majority of my guests are Austin based. Like, I see the numbers. I see stuff, guys. Like, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. Like majority of my podcast is like 89% male listeners,
Really?
and not a single male ever supports.
For sure. That's weird. But it's crazy out there. And I feel like until you go out there and meet more people and really, get out of your comfort zone, you'll still be stuck in this mindset of people aren't supporting me. There's nobody out there who's whatever.
People don't know what's out there. Like I saw somebody post like bacon, but like beef bacon, and they were like,
Oh,
I
I
didn't
love
even
beef
know beef
bacon.
bacon existed.
I love beef bacon. My ex-fiance put me on beef bacon because their family didn't eat beef or it didn't eat pork. And so I had beef bacon for the first time, and now I'm like in the stores trying to find it because it's very hard to find.
Oh, it is.
It is so hard to find, and I'm in the stores trying to find it, and when you find it, oh my gosh.
It's not as coveted as pork. So a lot of stores don't keep it because like one thing that happened from COVID that I particularly noticed within like just cooking aspects, like certain brands are only in certain locations. Like, I mean, HEBs, just as an example.
Yeah.
Like I can go to the HEB in Round Rock and 100% for sure get cut up butternut squash. Like, as an example. HEB on Wells Branch, they don't even carry it. Like, that's not even a thing.
Man, that's like when I lived down here, I had like my favorite HEBs, which was Mueller, because they had a variety of what
Shout
I
out to
needed.
Mueller. That place is
What?
fucking fantastic.
What?
Like, that barbecue
What?
place there, they have a chicken place, they have a ramen place in that bitch now.
That,
Like,
man, they had all the variety that I needed because like kale, if I wanted to eat kale, like I couldn't go find that where I was at the time. Like I had to go
Yeah.
all the way to Mueller. And like in Houston, Kroger's really big. And I'm still a HEB girl. I'm still at HEB going to go pick up curbside because to me, Kroger is like depressing. Like the lighting is, like when you go into HEB, like the atmosphere of HEB, here everything is better. Like literally the atmosphere, and you might go on samples day where I'm just like, oh, I'm excited and everything is just literally better there. Kroger, I'm
samples
sitting
day.
there
I didn't
like,
know that was
What?
a day. I thought they just do that shit.
what? There are like, it's amazing because I go into Kroger and I'm just like, oh, wow. They might have some stuff that I need. I'm just like, well, this
You know
is
what's
just
funny? Like,
gloomy.
Dallas, people don't really know that HEBs don't exist there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. HEBs haven't made it to Dallas for some reason. I'm serious. I'm so serious. Like,
See, I thought HEB was like a Texas thing.
it is a Texas thing. It's just not in Dallas.
Oh wow, they're like, no, we're good on HEB.
It's on its way because I think there is one in what city is Baylor in? Is that
Not
Waco?
Arlington. I think it is Waco.
Is Waco?
Yeah.
There's one there. I think that's the closest one.
But what do they
Before-
have?
I don't know. I've never gone grocery shopping in Dallas. Like I just know. Like I if I'm in Dallas, I'm gonna go eat somewhere. Like I
Yeah.
don't know exactly how people shop. I should ask my cousin. She lives there. She's lived there for like the last 5 years.
Where do you go to grocery shop?
Yeah, where do you go? But yeah, HEB is it's a great store, but like there are also other stores in other states that are just as cool.
Yeah.
We just don't experience it because we don't go anywhere.
HEB is my pre-rich Whole Foods right now. Like my goal in life is to be able to like grocery shop legitimately
At Whole Foods?
whole home at Whole Foods. I bought, like when I was younger, I bought like a pack of 12 popsicles for $25. I was like, but they were the best popsicles I've ever tasted. What? I said, this is a dream to just go to Whole Foods and do my whole $250 at HEB at Whole Foods, which will probably be like an $500 plus my arm and toe or something. Like, oh my gosh, the quality there is amazing. The food is delicious.
The only reason I would go to Whole Foods to get something is like a specific type of like broccoli, like broccolini. Like,
did they have
but
that?
then they have that now at HEB.
Yeah.
But back then,
You definitely could.
So I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
But like back then, like only way you can get broccolini was only going to Whole Foods, and then I've tried a number of different pastas from Whole Foods, but ultimately I only would go to Whole Foods because the ramen bar they have there.
Really?
They have at least the one in the Domain. I don't know if I don't think it's true for all Whole Foods, but there's a ramen place. Mm-hmm. Broth, noodles, pick your vegetables, like made in front of you.
So good.
So good.
Man, shout out to Whole Foods
Yeah, for sure.
and HEB. We love HEB too. We don't discriminate here.
Although they never hired me, and to this
Oh,
day,
you have to sell a kidney to work at HEB. You will do 500 applications, but they don't care. And when you hear people who have worked there or worked there, you're like, how did you get in and they didn't pick me? Like you're sitting
Hey.
there reevaluating your life. Like what did they not see in me that they like? What? Oh my gosh. That was like the best job you could get. I feel like
my
that
mother
just
has
would
worked
not-
for HEB for the last 30 years.
Really?
Yeah. She started as a bagger at this HEB up the street. She's worked for, I think at this point, 12 different HEBs across.
And they
the area.
couldn't get you in?
See, that's tough. Man. My brother even worked for HEB.
What?
It's tough, man.
They're like, we only need one. I'm sorry.
I'm actually an HEB child, honestly.
Oh
I
my
grew up in
gosh.
HEB. Like the if you ever go to the Wells Branch HEB up the street, there is it used to be a two-way mirror. Like you could see the fucking employees.
Yeah.
They changed it to where it's two-way. So like, or not two-way. What's the way you can't see in but you can see out? One way? No, like you can't see into the place, but they can see you clearly. Like there's something. It's called something like.
I know what you're talking about, like when they're interrogating people, like
Yeah, like that. Like you can't like it's a mirror. I don't know what it's called. I don't know, but I grew up there. My mom used to fucking put me in that's the break room. Like,
Yeah.
I used to sit there as a fucking child and just hang out with the fucking employees
just look
all
at the
day.
customers go by.
And nothing's changed either, which is wild to me. My mom wouldn't even step foot in that place.
What? She's like, too many bad memories about this place.
It's ghetto as fuck. Man. Topics time. Do we have topics? Phobias. Before I do that, what places have you been visiting, like food-wise, out there in Houston?
Ooh, okay.
I get killed by the internet. Like I personally do feel Austin and surrounding cities have better food.
You know what's
than
crazy though?
Houston and surrounding
I was
cities.
just talking to my friend. I was talking to my boyfriend, and I was telling him Houston's just really hyped.
Thank you.
It's just really hyped, and you really go there because it's an hype. Like Austin's really cool, calm, and collected compared to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And so because they have such a big hype around Houston, you're like, well, shit, I want to go over there and get hype with them. But they're so like when I used to live down here and he used to come down, we used to go to all kinds of good places down here, and he would be in. He's been here before, but he said he only came here like to handle a client and go back. And when he came down, when I brought him down here and he got to experience Austin, he was like, "What?
Yeah.
This is here?" I'm like, "Yeah."
People have grown up in Austin their whole life and haven't even experienced the city
What?
in a way that like is adult. Like people know fucking 02, 03, 24. They know these different zip codes that they don't own for some reason. I don't know why that's the thing, but they just know a lot of that.
Yeah,
And
and,
they
then
know,
even
like-
now they're like the Domain downtown, but there's
Yeah.
just like so much.
There's so much
more.
food. There's so much food around. Like when I say surrounding cities, I count Katy and Houston adjacent, right? Even though
Yeah.
it's 30 minutes
See,
out.
I live on the
whatever case.
outskirts of Houston,
Okay.
so. And people are always like, how far is this from you? How far is this? I'm like, it takes
It's
an
an
hour. It takes an hour from Houston to get to Houston. Like,
Yeah.
it does not matter where it is. Just tell me where it is so I can get there. So I can calculate how long I need to, get ready and leave because the traffic there is atrocious.
Yeah.
So it's going to take me a day and a half to get wherever I got to go anyway. But I've done a lot of hole in the walls. There's this really good sushi place. I wish I really knew what it was, but it's a little further down south, and it's like all you can eat. And it's
Does it have like the rotating like bar thing? Like, where the food
no,
comes up?
they just kind of bring you things. They bring you all kinds of stuff, and like you literally, it's all you can eat. And we were sitting there just when I tell you eating everything, it was amazing. And then I can't even remember these places because I eat a lot at home because I cook at home.
I do a lot of both.
Really?
People don't understand that. They'd be like, "You cook every day." I'm like,
I
"No,
cook every day.
I don't.
I enjoy
cook
cooking.
maybe once or twice a week, if that."
I love cooking. It's relaxing to me.
No, same.
And so, and just not cooking the same thing is enjoyable, you know,
Yeah,
because I feel
trying
like
new
a lot
things,
of
yeah.
people are just cooking the basic stuff or just
Can we
the
say what the
same
basic stuff is? Like, can
If
you
you're
say that?
making, okay, first off, Alfredo is basic, and if you're making Alfredo from the jar, you're not making Alfredo. So please stop
Should make my
saying
stomach
you're
hurt.
making Alfredo and you're buying it from the jar. If you're buying any jar sauces, you're not making it. If you're not making the sauces from scratch, I'm sorry. If you're like, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Why are you making spaghetti from a jar? Why? It's already pre-seasoned. The spaghetti. That's just like
I
you.
mean, I can't shit on the spaghetti aspect because if
No.
I don't feel like it that day, I'm getting me some
No,
jar
I
of
don't.
fucking spaghetti
I
sauce.
tomato sauce. I'll start with tomatoes. Like no, I just cannot. I've never. No, I'm sorry. No, and so I'm so like just like my son he eats because I cook everything, and so he eat his like palate is so like versatile, to where I'm just like yeah, it's basic. When he meets these girls and they come and try to, he's gonna be like,
You're gonna be a me. That's how my parents
Like,
were. My
what is
parents,
this?
my parents alternated cooking. Like, but more times than not, it was my dad who's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Cooking. Like, I mean everything. Like, he'd be like, "We're doing Italian on Wednesday. We're gonna do fucking fried chicken on Thursday.
Man.
Then we're gonna go." They don't do any like Korean stuff or like Japanese or Asian food or anything like that. But like it was variety when I got older as a kid. But if he's already starting off like that, my parents is like, you either gonna eat it or you're not gonna eat it at all.
what? Because I'm not making anything else. I'm sorry, I don't tell you. And he'll hit me with I don't like this. What is that? What is it even? Like, do you even know what that is? And he'll be like, right, go eat it. And he'll always eat it.
Yeah.
Or he'll come and it smells like chicken. It smells like, and he'll tell me. I'm like, oh, you're so greedy. Like, how do you even know that? Yeah, that's what I'm like. It is. And I'm just like, goodness gracious. It's just how
Yeah, I'm
times
glad
have
that
changed.
you say that because like people will. So now Austin has a number of hot pot places, right? I know you tried the one in Houston that I shared. I know you tried
Delicious.
it. It was fire.
It was delicious.
It's fire. Cool. That's something I will go try. Like at this point, because like I'd say, was it 2020? Has it been that long? New York. 21. So I accepted to go to a different state with someone via vehicle because I really want to try Chinese hot pot. Mm-hmm. And I thought New York would have the most fire Chinese hot pot. And at that time, there was no hot pot places here, like at all. They've like sprouted up like crazy now. But like, I love fucking hot pot. Like
It's so
It's
good.
fun. It's
Man,
fun.
for
Like it's
sure.
fun and like you don't have to worry about fucking. I worked in the service industry for years. Like I don't want to be served. I just want to have fun in a restaurant.
You know what I hated though? Sometimes I hate when they try to help me too much.
I don't
It's
want.
like it's okay. It's like it's all right.
All I
When
want
I
is a straw and a cup, bro.
when I first went to Hot Pot,
What was your first place? Was it here? Or
it was in
there?
Houston. And I went into the bathroom, and there was instructions on how you should prepare your hot pot, like
funny.
how to, put what should go in first, what you should cook first because it'll cook faster or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm sitting down, I'm with my friend or whatever, and he's just dumping everything in there, dumping. And I remember the instructions, and so I'm putting stuff in and eating as I go. And by the time I look at him, his pot is overflown and stuff is just spilling out. And so he has the noodles on top, and so the noodles trying to cook, but the air, the air's on top, so nothing at the top is cooking, but everything's burning at the bottom, like because he has stuff over cooking at the bottom. And it's just looking a mess. Like he's just putting stuff in there, and his broth has turned like a gloomy gray color because he just has all kinds of
All the
stuff
meat
going
and fat
on.
and all that stuff.
And he was like, why are you making it look so easy? I said, I seen some instructions in the bathroom, like that tells you what to do and stuff. He was like, what? It's like, yeah, they was telling you like the steps and stuff, but it was so good because all the variety they have.
It's an
and
experience. Like it's something like, unfortunately, like our people are like, I'm not gonna pay to cook my own meat. I'm like, I get it in a sense, but like you don't have access to fucking thinly cut beef. Like
yeah,
this.
just
You're
like
not
the
doing
all
that.
type, like. And then they're even just like limited with what they eat. I'm not gonna eat that. I don't eat that. It's just like, really, like just. I call those just chicken tender people.
It's a weird mindset to me. Like, and I get called a hater when I'm like, yo, there's just so much more out there. Like, I know you think you're just like the king of the city of Austin for some reason. Like, I know you think you know everything about Austin.
Yeah.
But you live south. You've never come north. Like, you don't even know what north offers. You've never been to Cedar Park in your life. If you have, it was to fucking do
That
something weird.
place in Cedar Park, the what is it called? Fudan or something like that, or
Fudan is everywhere. It's a
that
franchise.
place. I've never had it until I moved to Leander when I was living in Leander, and I went to Cedar Park.
Yeah,
that place was amazing.
it's a franchise. There's one.
So
I think there's one in
good.
Round Rock. There's Cedar Park. There's a couple in Austin.
Oh
it's
my
a franchise.
gosh! I was like, this is so freaking good. Like, just
That's not even my
having that.
favorite pho.
Really?
Yeah,
I
there's
think-
It was the last place I tried it. It was it's called Broth and Basil in Pflugerville in Stonehill. Beautiful, beautiful,
really?
amazing fucking pho, and they have these giant beef ribs like bone in, with like the
wow.
meat, like it's like this big.
Oh man.
With the bone being this big, like the bone sticks out of the take on carry on shit.
Ooh.
It's so good.
Like my first pho
Pho
place.
Dan was probably my first interaction with it.
Really, my first place was Pho Please on Riverside.
Oh, I don't go south. Sorry, guys. I know I just talked about all this like
That
moving around.
Riverside is as far as I'll go.
I used to be on Riverside like crazy. I used to be
That
at
is
that
as
fucking
far as I'll
Baby
go.
A's all the fucking time.
But you go any further, you know that part in A Lion King when Mufasa was telling Simba like, we don't go over there where it's
we don't go south.
like
yo.
that's how me and my son's father is like, we don't go there. Like, and it's crazy because because my son had a birthday party at like the Jumpaline place, and it was the one up north, and he ended up going to the one all the way south. I said, we don't go down there.
Oh, you
Why
went to
would
go
you?
to that one for the
all
party,
the way
but you
down?
already booked for the north.
Yeah, I'm like, we don't go down there. Why would you even think that was up there?
Disrespect.
Like, that's the running joke in our family. Like, we don't go down there. It is a forbidden place. Like, my son has never even known what is down there. Like, what?
I grew up south. Like my grandparents' home was in South Austin.
It's like
so
the traffic gets worse. The roads gets worse. Like, roads get worse.
the access to places get worse, like south,
Right.
because like to get like so like let's say you're on what's the street called, the Williams say you're on
Cannon.
there, yeah, so you're there, but you really need to get on the opposite side. It's gonna take you a long time to wrap around back to get to that opposite side. Like the streets aren't like people friendly
Yeah.
for the most part, but fuck the South. I'm just saying that, you know. I always said I was in a pod in the South one time.
Look, then somebody from
At
the
the
south
Omni.
comes on the next pod. I heard you were talking about where I live.
Yeah, facts. That's all. I'll probably get a timestamp from somebody of like when in the video I said something crazy.
Oh man.
That's why I turn comments off, guys. It's not because I don't like y'all. It's just I don't care what y'all have to say. I'm so sorry. I don't want to hear your opinions about the shit. If you want to have opinions and you follow me on Facebook and other places, of course, send me a DM. I don't care to see your comments on YouTube. I'm not going to read them. If I do, I'm going to be over crazy about them in Burlington. Y'all stress me out. Paragraphs. It's crazy. I don't know how people have this much time to type about shit.
Man. I don't even know. Because it's like, by the time you read the end, do you even remember what happened in the beginning?
I don't know.
Like,
I did. Whoever left that last time step, I did go back and listen, and I was right. You're wrong. Whoever that person is, they deleted their shit though. They deleted both of the comments, but they were so strong and heavy. Whoever you are, I have an idea who you are, but we'll leave that for another time. Phobias. What's a fear for you? Me, it's everything. Like anything that could hurt me, I'm scared of it. I don't want to be too high. I don't want to be too low on the ground. I don't like spiders. I don't like snakes. I don't like gerbils. I don't like anything.
Gerbils?
Gerbils.
I don't know. I wouldn't say this is a fear, but is it a fear or is it an ick? Just like bugs. Like, I'm not necessarily scared of bugs, but like, if there's too many bugs in my house, like when flies get in, I'm like, is my home dirty? Like, I don't know why all these flies are coming in, but I live in the country now. So there's flies everywhere. And if I leave the trash can too close to my door, then here comes the flies.
You know another positive of being really cold? Them motherfuckers get out of here quick.
Do they?
Yeah. I see more dead bugs than I see live ones. If I have
He
bugs.
keeps it hospital cold in here, y'all. He had to turn it off because we were
Of the
complaining.
podcast, because it's COE. Content over everything. Me being
We're going to
hot.
be up in here talking that thing. Stuff coming from our mouths. I don't know if I have a fear. I have a fear of not succeeding.
What's a phobia?
Like I really, really want to, and sometimes it's just like, man, what if I really don't make it? What if I do all this work and then an asteroid comes, and I'm just like, well, damn.
That's how I feel every day. I'm like,
damn, I did
what
all
if I
this
just
work.
don't spend this 30 on this meal? Like, what if tomorrow it's over?
I'm like,
That's why I'm in my
man.
position now. I'm like, what if I just splurge today? Because what if the world ends tomorrow?
Like what? And I'm just like, dang, I put all that money and invested in what? Could have put that somewhere else. Could have went somewhere, but
I think a phobia is a irrational fear or something, right? I don't think it's like a clarified fear.
Yeah.
I think that's just fear, right? I think that's what a phobia's definition is, like an irrational fear of something. I think.
I don't know.
I think that's.
It got people scared of, like.
I mean, if a spider,
I know
can't
somebody
hurt
who
you,
is
though.
scared of spiders. So it doesn't matter if they're like this, like small speck ones or like tarantulas. Like it does not matter at all.
I think that I think that's the definition, is like irrational. Like, God, I'm scared of fucking spiders, and the spiders you're scared of is daddy long legs that can't hurt me.
He's just trying to get back to
Right.
it. He's mad he's stuck in the house. He's trying to get back outside.
Like things that can't happen to you. Like a phobia would be flying. Like that's why I had to watch Final Destination, the first movie, before my first flight at 13 years old. Like I had to watch it to get over it because I did not want to fly. No, actually, I think I was like 12 or maybe 10 at that point, my first flight. Because I think Final Destination 1 came out in like 1999.
Man,
Still one of the best of the movies for sure.
for sure.
Does it
Till
say
this
irrational?
day, I don't think anybody drives behind one of those trucks with those like
The
logs
logs?
on it. Like,
Yeah.
why would for what? I don't care how secure it is. No, it's
That
not
whole
gonna
scene
happen.
like just played in my
Like,
head.
what?
Like everybody was out of here.
Like, huh? No, thank you. Sorry.
That's why I don't play on the highway, man. Like I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, "I go 90 regardless," and I'm like, "Okay, like, okay, if that's how you move, like, you're gonna hate it in my car." Like, I'm never in such a rush that I need to go faster than I feel comfortable with. Like,
I'm a
I don't
Tokyo
care.
drifter. Okay, I am Tokyo drifting down the road. See, in Houston,
Oh, you
can't
got to
do
be.
that.
You have to be, yeah.
I can't do
Or not
that
have to
as
be, but you
well.
have to.
But it's just like because the speed limits are 65,
Yeah.
and
On a
you say
7-lane
65
highway.
in Austin, they're passing you up, honking at you because why are you going 65? But it's like I'm going 65 and people are still passing me like, bitch, what are you doing? I'm like, it's the speed limit because if I go 67 or 70, here come the police behind me. Like, I'm just like, but I'm so used to driving fast in Austin because the speed limits here are like up there. Like,
Oh,
even
I wouldn't even
the,
go outside if I lived in Houston. Like I lived in Houston in my not early teens, my later teens. So I was supposed to be a transfer from a particular college to U of H, and it just didn't happen. But I was already in Houston at the time, so I lived near U of H, which is not the nicest place in the world. Like it's
Yeah.
literally in the city, right? So I didn't go anywhere. I don't want to drive anywhere. Like it just didn't feel comfortable for me to drive, and I was then, right? But like to this day, I don't want to. No, I'm cool. I know exactly where I need to be and where I want to go.
yeah, it is. I'm still like missing exits because the
Oh, yeah.
exits are on the left, on the right, they're up, they're down. In Austin, they're all on the right. Like
You
you can
actually might have to
expect,
take an elevator to
you know what I'm
exit
saying?
in
You can
Houston.
expect the exits to be on the right side, literally. But I'm
The exit
and
be like, turn slight left
you
on
know,
the highway.
and it's just like slight left, and then there's an exit that pops up magically. That just well,
Slight
okay.
left. Like,
And
what do you
then
mean
you
slight
miss
left on the highway,
you
sir? I'm
know-
going 70.
you miss the exit, and
can't be
it's
slight
30
anything.
minutes to have you go around and get the exit again. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, still missing exits, and I've been there for months.
Have you been to, is it Bojangles? No, what's it called? No, there's a Boudreaux's?
I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
It's a,
You know what I want to try? Jollibees.
I do too.
I want to try it so bad.
I do too. Every time I'm in a city where there is one,
There's
I can
some
never
in
remember what
Houston.
the fucking name of the place is, and I never go.
It's
Because
in
I always have to pull
Houston.
up the Grandies when I'm in Dallas, and I always want to pull up the Jollibees. I want some fucking.
Spaghetti and chicken, like that's. I want to try that.
I want that. I want to see their combo of it because I
For
know the
sure.
Southern combo. I want to see their combo.
Like I've seen the videos of people just like enjoying. I'm like, oh man, I really want that so bad. And
Was
the
it
crazy
Dallas?
thing, it's there.
Was it Dallas where I was saying that shit? No, was it? I don't know. No, it was San Antonio. San Antonio when we recorded. Like, I was like, I can't think of the name, and then we passed it. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to. There's supposed to be Jollibees coming in this area, not this area like particularly, but like in Austin soon. Like I think it's on its way.
What?
Yeah.
Like, but the Jollibees is like down there. It's like down there, and it already takes me a month and a half to get down south anyway. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna go any further for a Jollibees. I have to be like in that area, buy it.
I think the closest one is in San Antonio. Last time we were in San Antonio, I think I was thinking of that place, but I couldn't really like think of it until it was too late. Did some sketchy shit in San Antonio. we definitely went to some random food truck in the hood like at night
Oh man.
to get some Philly cheesesteaks.
Ooh. I had an ex because they were from Jersey, and so they were going down there to go see family. Bring me down some cheesesteaks, and they were so good. They were so good, and I didn't eat them regular. I had them put tomatoes on it because I love tomatoes.
I'm
When I put
anti-tomato
tomato,
guy.
what I
Yeah.
love tomatoes because it gives it to me. It gives food that balance that I love, like the hot and cold, and it gives it a little more juice, which I really love. So I'm a tomato girl. Put some salt and pepper on there. Well, I'll eat them by themselves.
I'm allergic to tomatoes.
Oh, okay. So you'll die.
I won't die. I will. It's gonna be a whole hive situation. It's not gonna be a fun out for me.
Oh man.
And it's only raw tomatoes I can't
Oh,
eat.
because I'm like, how you
I
eating
can-
spaghetti? You were
I
just
can
talking
eat-
about
I can
spaghetti.
eat like, I don't know why there is a difference, but I can eat like cooked tomatoes, like cured tomatoes.
Maybe one of the chemicals is like, you know, how
maybe
like
the
wine
chemical
is or
does
something.
change once it goes from hot to cold or something like that, and that's what I'm allergic to. I don't know, but it's a whole hive situation. It's not a fun look.
Oh wow.
Have you been to Turkey Lake Hut?
Of course, I was over there before I even moved there. I was going over there so much in as a resident in Austin that they should have sponsored me. Like I was spending a lot of money there. Like it was so good. And then it seemed like after Leg Hut, all kinds of turkey leg places started like popping up.
I mean, I never thought it was that. You can't spice up a turkey leg enough to make me think it's not a turkey leg. Like it is just a turkey leg with some Alfredo
With some
on it.
fixins.
It is just a turkey leg with some rice on it. Like
It was good with the shrimp because the shrimp is like a good sized shrimp and the dirty rice.
I mean,
And then I ate mine with so I put hummus on mine, just like
Okay.
that nutty flavor, you know, with that rice and that turkey. That it just was so good.
spoken like a true vegan transition back
Because
to me.
yes, because I was for a while. So I'm just like all the stuff that I was eating when I was vegan. I'm just like kind of just mixing it all together. I'm like, oh, these flavors work together. So yes, for sure.
I've never personally been to the restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, only time I've ever had it was
Somebody brought it to you or something? Or
Yeah.
you bought it?
her sister. Who else was with you?
Did you enjoy it?
I've been there a couple times. I like it.
See, because she's been there. You have to go there.
I think he experiences things differently though. Like he's not the loud music type of restaurant type of person. He won't
I should annoy the
enjoy
shit out of me.
Oh well, see, I've been all different since I've been there so much. I've been there on different days, different times of days. So I went there when like on the less busier days during the week and the most busier nights, you know, during the weekend. Excuse me, and it's definitely an atmosphere. And then they have like the crawfish is good to me. They have you know, when crawfish season is out. So I've been there eating crawfish and eating turkey legs, you know. I enjoyed it. Now I haven't been now that it's so hyped up and so congested. Yeah. But I feel like with Houston, like when things come, it's like it's the hype for right now, so everybody's there, and then after a while it dies down, and then there's a new place that opens up. And everybody's there, you know, and it's like a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so whenever it dies down, I'll be back over there, I guess.
I'm not. I don't think like when I say I don't like something.
What was it about it?
I think the imbalance of like I think I got the right. This I think it was like spicy jambalaya rice or some shit. I think the imbalance of flavors weren't there for me. I still ate it. I ate it till the bone was off. Like,
yeah.
But it was just there was imbalance with flavor. That's where I kind of like skew from foods. Like, I don't like too spicy, but I also don't like too savory. Like, I need the combinations to meet in the middle, not be one or the other.
See, I'm a person like when I enjoy something and it was good, how can I amp this up? Like, you know, I had the Alfredo, the original turkey leg with the Alfredo, and then, you know, of course I had the hummus, but then I also I got a baked potato, like a plain baked potato, and then I'm putting that on the baked potato, so I have that potato, which is like that, just a little more filling, and there's not necessarily there's that potato flavor, but that hummus, since it's a nutty flavor, it just was doing something for it.
I have a hate-love relationship with hummus. Like, I don't like beans like that. I don't like chickpeas. To be honest with you, I think chickpeas are like the most disgusting. And I'm not being honest when I say this, but like I just don't like chickpeas. I don't like smashed chickpeas.
When I first tasted hummus, I was in middle school, and we had cooking classes. It was a cooking class that happened after school.
Oh, I actually was involved in like early home economics.
Yeah, home ec. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we would like make fucking lasagnas in
See, it wasn't
school.
that. It wasn't that. Like, we weren't doing all that, but like it was almost like we were doing. Was it like that? But it was like compost. We were making gardens and stuff like that. So we had a garden. And we ended up taking some things out of our garden, and then we came back and, you know, we're making hummus and stuff like that. And we were, bless this woman's heart. These are a bunch of urban kids and a not so urban woman coming to us, you know, and we're used to certain things, and we're making a sandwich, and she's like, oh, we're making sandwiches, and we're like, oh, we like sandwiches, because who doesn't like sandwiches? But we had the bread, of course, we had hummus, we had a little turkey, and we had sprouts. We had sprouts. I love sprouts now, but you could still taste the dirt on them, and then the hummus wasn't, you know, you put olive oil in hummus, you put paprika in hummus, you know.
Yeah.
And so we're eating this, and we're like, this is disgusting. Like, this is so nasty. But I feel like now that I've had like Indian food and, you know, of course, pita bread and things like that, and I've had good, nice hummus, like where it's like the olive oil on top, like I will sit there and eat hummus out of the container.
Yeah, I mean, everything's cured, right? Like, so I think a lot of people, and I'm going to compare hummus to this particular ingredient only because it's usually prevalent in our community. Lamb chops, right? So, like, people love lamb chops based off of their experience with them, right? I personally, as a black person, don't remember when lamb chops was black soul food.
Yeah, they just came out of nowhere.
I don't know if that's a thing. Well, I know why it became a thing. I know because like, unfortunately, black folks looked at higher end restaurants and were like, "What's the most expensive shit on the menu? Lamb chops. Let's bring that to soul food and let's make it this." But like, certain people don't get introduced to lamb chops in the right way. Mm-hmm. Like they get it, and it again. Unfortunately, it may be at a soul food restaurant that just doesn't cook it the right way. It's gamey.
Yeah, it has that taste. It
It's
does have that taste.
It's a gamey meat. And if you don't cook it right, you can season the shit out of it, whatever seasons you're used to. You can motherfucking garlic powder, salt, pepper that shit, to paprika it to death.
You know, black people love
It's
garlic
still
powder.
going to taste gamey unless you
sure.
cure it the right way, you marinate it the right way, and it's become a staple in soul food restaurants. Like I don't remember like going to a soul food restaurant back in the day and being like, "Let me get the lamb chops, yo."
Yeah.
Like, parent, are we having lamb chops tonight? Like I don't
Yeah.
like that dynamic, but like it's the same concept of like trying something the wrong way the first time, and now every time moving forward, it ain't shit.
Yeah.
And people staying and sticking in their ways. Like me, like I'll try 7 hot pot places, and 3 of them might suck. That doesn't turn me off of like that food or that kind of dynamic. I'll try 20 fucking chicken places, and maybe 6 of them suck. Like
For sure. And I always like, because I love food, I love going beyond the limits of food. But when somebody is with me who I know is not as experienced, I'll always prepare them to start with the basics.
nope, I say get right
No,
in.
because you're not about to wreck the restaurant for me. You're not about to ruin this experience for me. You're not about to, because that means, because after this experience and you said, "Oh, I don't like," you're not gonna hear from me again. Okay.
One thing I try to do, like when trying to bring somebody into a world, is order everything. Let's order a bunch of shit. Like let's just order everything that we can order, and let's figure it out for that person.
But I need the right person for that. I need somebody who also eats, because somebody who sticks to a specific palate has a specific taste.
Well, that's not always true. Sometimes
That's what I've experienced. Like with the hummus thing, I had a friend, like that night with the turkey leg thing. They were like, "Oh, I'm gonna try hummus." I said, "You're not going to like this." And they were like, "No, I want to try." I said, "No, I know from what I've seen, what you eat and how you eat, you're not going to like this. Let's try this another way. Please just wait, because you're not about to ruin this for me, because I love hummus." No, let me taste it. I'm just going to taste a little bit. No, I know you're not going to like it. Please just wait to where when I prepare this hummus, I know I will prepare it in a way that you're going to enjoy it. No. Oh, and then tasted it anyway and sat there and was quiet. "Oh, you don't like it? You don't like it, do you?"
yeah.
"No, I know. And now get out, because you just ruined hummus for me, because now you're sitting there with a sour face and I'm enjoying hummus and you looking at me aside my head because I'm enjoying it so much." No.
No, I mean, even I don't approach food with the notion that they won't like it. Like anytime I introduce people to a certain food, like I also try to do something I've never had before with a food. Like I don't introduce people to foods that I like in weird scenarios. Like I'm always like, "All right, let's go to this restaurant. I'm gonna order some shit. I don't fucking know what the fuck's going to happen. I don't even know if I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like it, I'm still going to order it, and we'll fucking figure this shit out together. I trust you. You figure it out. Like I don't know, like because I love food so much. Like I'm willing to try a lot of different things with people, right? And in my life and my experiences, it's always been like people who have never been around a person who is willing to go that extra mile. Like if we go to a fucking Pakistani restaurant for the first time, my first time too.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking
See,
try
that's
it.
different.
Let's
Have
figure
you
it
never
out.
been into an experience with somebody just like talking down the whole meal because they're just like, "I don't eat this."
Oh no. Like I'm that too.
No.
I'm
'cause-
also that, but I'm also the person like if it's a new experience for me, I also want you to know it's a new experience for me too. Like, hey, let's go try this hummus at this place. Even though you maybe had hummus before, let's go try it at such and such. Like I've never had it here.
Yeah.
But you personally have that gauge of like, oh, this ain't the best hummus, but
For
it's
sure.
alright, it's mid, it's cool, and that person can experience it the same way you are experiencing it at the same time.
Well, now I
think a
gotta
lot-
persuade you to try it again, because you're like, "No, I didn't like." I love African food, and Nigerian in particular. just recently, or not, on my birthday, around my birthday, I tried Ethiopian food because I've been wanting to try it for so
That's
long.
one culture I have not tapped
It
into
is
with the food.
so good. And there's a place called Blue Nile in Houston. I recommend. Like, you know those places that you go to
Write that
that are
down.
okay, Blue Nile. I recommend like strongly, strongly, strongly. You know those places that you go to, you're like, oh, this is so good, I'm gonna come again, but you don't kind of get around to it.
Mm-hmm.
That place, I was like, I'm going again, and I went again. The first time, because you know they serve it on that like the bread.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I had lamb, and I had beef. I want to say lamb and beef. And when it come out, it's sizzling, it's hot, and then they have like all these other sides. It was like potatoes, like a cabbage, and so it was so, the flavor was so good. The just like the experience, because you're eating with your hands, is always fun. Like it was so delicious. Oh my gosh! And the second time I went, we tried something different. We did chicken and fish. Although the chicken and fish was not hitting like the lamb and beef, it was still really good. And just like, but I was with a person who when we are together, we are eating everything. We are eating.
It can be an uncomfortable experience to involve somebody with something that you're trying to try because, again, you guys are eating what y'all know. Like, y'all know for a fact y'all both like this restaurant, so you're finna go. And it's busting every fucking time.
And when we go places, we're always like, what do you recommend? Because we want to get the best, you know, because even when you're looking at me, you're like, I don't really know. Like, what do y'all recommend? What is
I've
the
worked
best
in restaurants
here?
for years. Don't ask me what I recommend. I'm going to tell you the most nasty shit ever just to piss you off.
Why?
It's fun.
That is a terrible thing to do.
It's the truth. I mean, it's the honest truth. Like, recommendation asking is like asking, what can I compare it to? Running a marathon and then running a marathon and then ask me what the best water is while you're running the marathon. Like, that server is busy as fuck. You think his experience is supposed to be like, his job is to get food from point A to point B.
Well, I don't know about that, but just like, what do people like here? What does the chef
What's
like take
ordered a
pride
lot?
in? Like, you know, what does the chef recommend? What does because they know what the top selling dish is. They know when you work at a restaurant, you know, you sit down and eat yourself on break or something. What do you like to eat? What do you be like? I'm gonna eat at the restaurant today, and I'm gonna get this. I don't know about what the heck.
Unfortunately, some people who are servers can't afford the food that are in the restaurants they're serving. That's just the truth.
For sure, for sure.
What's your recommendation? I get the fries.
Water? Like,
I get the fries to my discount. It turns out to be $15.99 after taxes. But I like talking to food people. I think I think it's actually funny. Like, people don't think that I video chat with people before they come on the pod. We video chatted
yeah.
before you came on the pod originally, and people are like, "That's doing too much." I'm like, "You have no idea that's doing enough."
For sure.
Because I wouldn't have known you're a food person if that didn't happen.
I
Even though
love
we didn't
food.
talk about food in the last episode. I don't know if you
did.
watched it. I don't know. I have no idea.
And I'm always in your inbox like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Oh my gosh. Yes, I love food. Food is like my heart, okay? That is the one thing that I love food in a different way. Almost a weird way.
It's almost obsessive.
You know? And there's a feeling, there's like a legitimate feeling I have when I'm hungry for food, when I have the food. I do this thing where, like, if I'm trying to pick between two dishes, I have to feel how it feels in my mouth, like picture it and how I'm gonna eat it, and to kind of, you know. And for a while, I always wanted like the food with the biggest amount, so I would always mess up and get the freaking samplers when it's just like one thing of each thing. And I'm like, dang. And so it's really, I could have got a bigger plate, and I have like
Of
this,
the thing you really like
know.
out of the sampler. Yeah, for sure.
But I love food. It's almost like a horniness, like when you're horny and you're like
Low-key.
sometimes I get them confused because I'm legitimately like, am I hungry or am I horny? And then I'm always gonna like, I don't know, but go eat first, and then, you know, let me
figure it
know,
out.
like, you know, because I'm just like so excited for food and just how it makes me feel,
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
you know. So that's why I love ASMRs.
I
I love those
can't.
because I love all the food, and then it's just so delicious to me. Like,
I can't.
I'm looking
cannot
at that
eat-
food.
I
I'm like,
cannot
that
see
food
someone
looks
crunching
so
on
good.
chips.
Ah,
Like I like food videos. I like some of the top food creators that exist, and of course they have the fucking lapel mics, and you hear the crunch. But it's not like the focus, and it's like,
No, not when it's like their mouth, like only their mouth and they're eating, but like when it's like you can see them, you see all the like different foods they have, and I'm like, wow, that looks so good. Like I wanted to do that for my birthday last year, like they have like these pods out in I think on the West Austin, that are like almost like the observatory kind of look, you know, where you can see the stars and stuff like that. But it's like a pod for you, and whoever you bring. But I wanted to have a mukbang, like do a mukbang, and I'll eat because after I was gonna be so relaxed just to like look, like lay down and just like look at the stars and be full. But I wanted like the lights, I wanted like a camera and sit there and enjoy some really good food. So. That's why I take the experiences with people who don't eat very well personally, because I really enjoy food. I love food, and you're not about to ruin this experience for me. Okay?
I can't really even say I've had a ruined experience with food because like I learned. Of course, you learn people over time. Like I know if we're gonna try this restaurant, like you for sure going to go for the Alfredo. Like you for sure gonna go for this. You're for sure gonna go for that. So moving forward, if you're not into what I'm into food wise, like I can learn what you like. So I know I'll look at a menu and based off of what I know you like, even though I know I'm gonna order some weird shit, some crazy shit, I know that you would also feel comfortable ordering from that place as well. Like just based off your palate. Like I don't try to bring people to my shit because I've done it for a long time. Like I've been cooking for over a decade now.
Yeah.
Like I've been doing this for over a decade. I think like at this point in time, over the last 3 years, I've tried over 300 restaurants for the first time. Not counting outside of like me cooking, me just going to restaurants I've been to 1 or 2 times, like 300 additional restaurants.
Yeah.
And that's
You're on it.
That spans from across a lot of places. Like when I go to a city, let's say Katy, right? I think the last time I was in Katy, I tried like 7 places, like in a 2-day span, like for the first time, like, and then also going into Houston and trying places. Like, I'm not the TikTok viral guy. Like, I don't need people to like the food for me to go there. I want to know exactly where in the city I can get fucking Korean barbecue at 11 a.m. in the morning, and I also want to know where I can get it at 11 p.m. Like, I'm okay with traveling to either of the 2 places. And I don't take recommendations or reviews too serious because a lot of those recommendations and reviews are based off of experiences that don't even equal mine. Like I travel to eat. I don't travel then eat, if that makes sense. But food's important to me. Like that's why I talk about like I don't think I talked about this last pod, but the previous 2, like the cooking aspect. Like I don't cook every day, but when I do cook, it is for fun. It is for an excitement. Like that's one of the main reasons. Like I had a catering business well before the pandemic closed, right? It fucked everything up. But when that happened, I just stopped doing it altogether. And people don't understand that like I have talent in the kitchen, but I don't want to make my talent a job. Because what would happen is
But they always say, you know, when you're doing something you love, it's not work.
being in the kitchen at the level I do it is work. It's work because like I'm making stuff from scratch. So it's not me just pre-packaging shit unless it is something just for me. Like I'm okay with eating some Popeyes. I'm okay with eating like fucking canned. Like, I'm okay with that. But if I cook for somebody, I'm going the extra mile every single time.
I wouldn't know.
That's your fault.
I wouldn't know.
That's your fault. That is literally your fault. Like you have to figure out what that looks like for you. Like I don't have a problem cooking for people, but you know how they say like in business you can't discriminate against like people you're selling food to. I don't sell food. I can discriminate all I want. If I don't like you, I don't like you.
Yeah. Is that what you're trying to say to me?
No.
Talking about discrimination, well, it seems a little shady over there. I don't know. Just sending
not
signals
at all.
over here.
I just get to pick and choose who I cook for.
Yeah.
And I don't have to do it for a profit. I don't have to do it. Like, I actually love doing it. Like, sometimes, like, I'll be super angry before I come in the pod, and I want to be shady as hell. and I'm cooking right before, and I get so mellow. I'm just like, I can't even be shaking. I gotta take the glasses off.
Mm.
I gotta take the glasses off. So in Houston, have you been to the Post?
No.
Damn.
Let me tell you, I be working, y'all. I be working. I'm a working lady, and then I'll be at home, in my bed. My bed
The
has
Post
like
is cool. Like, I'm sure it's got better since, because I think it was like that was their first like open, because like last time I was there, went to the Post. They have the rooftop area. You can see downtown. I think it's adjacent to their aquarium or something like that. I
really.
think it's like right next. Is it right? Right? Like next to the aquarium. Because I wanted to go to the aquarium in the restaurant, but then I learned like parking's fucking crazy there.
I'm gonna check it out. I think the last place I went to was Lux. And I went after.
Oh, the seafood place with the fried rice and is that Lux? What, am I tripping?
No.
That's Lotus.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm like, I
That's
don't know.
Lotus.
I don't think that's it. But I went there and they had this special going on.
Oh, are you talking about the Korean place? Am I tripping?
No.
I don't know.
You're just saying stuff at this point. Just naming places. But they had these deals going on where, like, if you buy a drink, you get a pound of crawfish. And so, like, people, you know, it's a minimum of 3 drinks. So you have 3 drinks and then you have 3 pounds of crawfish. And then their
It's a pound and a
pizza's
half of
really,
meat.
you know what I'm saying? Well, it's an experience. But it was really good. But they were actually really good size. Their pizza was really good there. It's like a bar lounge thing, but the food was actually really good. Maybe not their pasta. Their pasta was okay. You know when people say Cajun pasta, and they just
shit?
put, you know what I'm saying? It's a Cajun seasoning or something, or like sprinkle at the top. They had paprika on the outside of the bowl.
In a
I'm
fancy
like,
bowl. Yeah.
where does a Cajun come in? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. So I wouldn't recommend that, but everything else was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Who knows? I need to go out more places, obviously.
I love Houston food. Like I just don't think it's better than Austin food. Like I think that literally people, like you said earlier, like people will be like, damn, I want this, and only have found it in Houston. So they'll travel the 2 hours to go to Houston, but it's only here. Not Googling.
Yeah.
Like it's only up the street from you too. Like
I will say,
seafood is different though. I think seafood
You
in Houston
know.
is way above here. Like we haven't even made it there, but I think
Yeah.
Houston's closer to the water than we are, so it only makes sense.
because I went to, I love the seafood. I love seafood because I'm originally from Louisiana, so we were, you know, pouring crawfish on the tables and stuff like that, and it being in Houston, like it's just good. I went to, what is that place in Austin over there by Rooster?
Red Rooster. I mean,
Over there by like,
Rolling Rooster.
what is that?
I know who you're talking about.
Nasty.
The restaurant next to like
Nasty.
Big Lots and, what's it called? It's like Garbo. It's something, right?
Cajun boil or something. Cajun boil.
What is it called? I know what you're talking about. Oh, what is it called?
It's not Cajun boil.
Crawfish Shack.
No,
No?
it's not Cajun boil.
I know what you're talking about, and I think that is the
Anyway,
right
the place is nasty. Okay, there was so much like when I water in my crab leg.
I know what you're talking about too.
Like it was so, and then I like spicy. I love spicy, but like the sauce that it was in, like I got a little sick after it. Like it was not the best seafood I've had down here. I've had better seafood at Spinners.
Shout out to Spinners, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Spin the block
It's
on
like,
Spinners, man.
Definitely had the better seafood at Spinners and freaking definitely Crawfish Shack. And,
Ugh, that Crawfish Shack is whack to me.
like
man.
I've had better seafood than at that place. Like
It's
it was
so
just
whack.
so nasty.
It used to be one of the only places you can get seafood in like Pflugerville back in the day. So like everyone hyped it up. I used to go there get steaks and seafood, boudin balls, and like spend $50, $60 there. And I'm like, I would never do that again.
Man, I'm spending money if I'm getting me a seafood boil. I don't care. I'm still trying to find the king crab. I'm still trying to find that somewhere. Like, oh, what a
Like the
dream.
actual crab to
Like
cook
the
it yourself, or you
Yeah,
want to go to a
no,
restaurant?
like just anywhere. Hell, I mean,
You can get king crab from HEB. You know,
really?
one thing about HEB that's really
I've
different
never
from a
seen
lot of
king
places.
crab at HEB.
Yeah, you won't because you have to order it. Like you
Really?
can like any kind of steak you want, HEB will provide it. You can go to their butcher and be like, "Hey, I want a tomahawk, and I want it to be 30 ounces." Okay, you'll charge it right then. They'll print out a little label. You pay for it. They'll tell you, "Hey, we'll be able to get it into you by Thursday."
Really? I did
And you
not
go to
know
the butcher
that.
desk or butcher office. You go to the butcher and be like, "Hey, I have my receipt. Okay, was your name match? Perfect. Here's your tomahawk."
What?
And there's also a really outside of seafood too. There's also like a really nice butcher place in Round Rock. I'd have to get the name because I've used them once. But you can do the same thing for seafood. If you want king crab legs, you can get them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, people don't know it because people don't really want to spend what it costs for king crab legs.
I don't care. Like, I'm sitting there like,
I think normally they're like, if I'm not mistaken, someone can correct me because they probably will, but I think it's like anywhere from like 50 to 60 per pound for king crabs. I think per pound, which is per pound, you're looking at like one or two like legs.
yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
Like,
sitting
not
here
even
thinking in my
clusters.
mind like, man, I'm just going to have to go. Because I really want some. Like, because I've seen enough mukbangs to really just put in the work and ask. Because what?
Yeah, it's the same conversation we've had this whole podcast. Like people who know, people who don't.
And now
So-
I know. Now I'm
And
one
now
of
you
the
just gotta
people.
have to figure out how you know things. Like a lot of times, people again they're so used to something that's norm within their own spaces and their own groups. They have no idea what's out there. Like I liken it to my Mississippi family, right? Like my parents, my father's from Mississippi. So I
What
have a lot
part?
of- it's called Byhala.
Oh, okay, I don't
It
know.
is the most furthest you can get to where you literally can drive in between Tennessee and Mississippi. Back and forth. Like Olive Branch, Tennessee, I think. It's nowhere, it's not anywhere near like a major city at all. Like it's literally like when they got a Subway, like the sandwich place,
Yeah.
the city was up.
What?
Yeah, it's one of those. Dirt roads everywhere. Like the church has been the same church. There's not multiple churches in the city. It's
Oh,
one
wow.
church. Everyone goes to the church. Everyone who passes away in the city goes to the same church. Like it's one of those. No phone service for some reason,
Oh, wait.
but the phone place is in the city. Yeah, it's one of those for sure. What else, man? What can we end off with? What do you think, Rob? I call you Rob. I never called you Rob.
Because I could go on for days. What?
It went there. That's why I was like, I don't know. We figure out topics later, yo. Let's start. We can end with right person, wrong time. That works.
We should have started with this.
Wrong person to take the food, right person to take the food.
For sure. Oh, man.
I absolutely believe in it. Like, I think that, like, actually, never mind. I actually want to transform that conversation to soulmates. Do you think now in this kind of world, soulmates even exist?
Yes. Yes, I do. I feel very, I don't think I did. Well, you hear it and you're like, oh, okay. But I've experienced it. I'm still experiencing it. And that's where right people, wrong time comes in. Because it's like, it really is. I mean, right people, wrong time.
That's your person.
Due to
You
circumstances.
for sure know that's your person. But
For sure. Just because there's a connection that sometimes that you just really can't explain. And you both, but between you understand it's there, you know it's there, and you can't necessarily explain it to other people where it makes sense. Because they're looking at you like, but when you're together and you're out in the world, people see it and they feel it. And me and this particular person, like, we were out one day, just at Fada's or something like that, or some Mediterranean place. And this dude, like, who was working behind the counter, came over, like, to the cashier stand. He was like, "There's just something like around y'all that, you know," he's like, "It's not bad, but it's just something like an energy like spinning around y'all." And we've had experiences like that before, like when we're together and we go out to places, people are just drawn to us, or they just have to stop us and talk to us. But it's just, again, that instance of circumstances, obligations, and just, you have to kind of just, it is what it is. And so I really do think, I feel like it's a lot harder to kind of figure out or believe in it, just because there's this whole 50-50 argument and this whole city girl argument, city boy argument. It's like the sexes are fighting each other right now. And it's like, it's really weird. It's really weird. But I do believe in it. I do really do. And I only talk from my experience, so for sure. Yeah.
I think the notion of soulmates is something that's bred into us that may or may not be correct, because I think back in the day, like, chances of me meeting someone outside of my personal city was slim to none. Mm-hmm. So that notion of the soulmate being in your city just is out of there for me mentally, because, like, there's no way in hell, like, the person that is my soulmate grew up the same way I did.
Right.
There's just that wouldn't even make sense, right? But I also do think that, like, you can have multiple soulmates. There could be multiple people that exist in the universe that can be for you, and it really just depends on how they come into your life, when they come into your life, like, whether you're friends first or whether you guys break up for a while and then come back. Like, I think the notion exists out there. I just don't think the way people interpret it is, I don't want to say the right or wrong way, but I don't know if that's even possible in this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you see billions of people that you've never seen before and probably will never meet before ever, like, that just wasn't the notion back then. And that's my opinion, based off of just, like, people's ideal of love at first sight. People's first sight for the most part now is a photo.
Yeah.
And it's their best photo.
For sure.
Like, love at first sight, you see someone at Walmart in some sweats and you're like, that's the one. And then now it's just like, damn, that's her best photo. That's her lead. This is her best moment. And people falling in love that way. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Because that conversation with 50-50 is nasty to me, because it don't even make sense to me. Like, I don't even know why that's even really, really a thing. And eventually we'll talk about it on the podcast, eventually. But 50-50 doesn't make sense to me. That's something I would have done when I was 20 years old. Like, okay, this is the amount of bills we have. Let's split it all.
Yeah.
Like, no, I live alone. You know what I mean? Like, I would still do what I already do. And if someone was to live with me, they would just have to contribute making sure shit was stocked. Because I'm the cook and I will take care of the bills. Just make sure when I walk in this motherfucker, the shit's stocked.
Because it's like, if you're already doing it, what's the issue?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. I mean, everyone wants their life to be easier. For me personally, somebody that was going to live, if I allowed someone to live with me again, because that's a tough out. But, like, it would just have to be a scenario where that person literally has to make sure everything is stocked all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, that's your job. Like, that's what you take care of. I'll work the job. I'll do this. I'll do that. Like, make sure everything's in here, man. Like,
I feel like when y'all reach that level, if you're in a relationship, you reach that level with somebody, you know that person. Mm-hmm. So you know where that person may fall short. Mm-hmm. So you know what that person needs. And so if they are paying all the, the bills, in what capacity they may need help elsewhere. Mm-hmm. They might not clean up, or if they do clean up, there might be a day where they're just really tired and you come in and, mm-hmm. they might be trying to do something where they need more encouragement. You know, there are places where you know that person well enough to you. Okay, I'm not paying the bills, but how can I be an asset to them in other ways that they need? And
I want new kitchen gadgets every day. I want a new kitchen gadget
it's
every
like, oh, I
goddamn
found
day.
this new thing that'll help you chop cheese or something,
Exactly.
just because you live with them, you listen to them, and although they might not like, hey, I really want this, they'll just, you'll look over and they'll be looking at
Boy, if
something
you bring
really
me
cool.
a fucking cheese grater, I don't even care if I have one already. If you bring me a cheese grater, shit, an onion chopper.
I feel like
over.
the conventional gifts are the best gifts ever. I got a shoe rack.
Oh,
And
that just turned me off, bro.
like,
I need a shoe rack
was
too.
like, oh my gosh, a shoe rack, because I have a lot of shoes. And I got a shoe rack, and I was like hyped to like 1,000. I said, oh my God, put it up that day. Like, I was just putting it together, took a picture, and like, am I know, because I'm just like the most conventional, because you're making my life easier. You took the time to listen to me, maybe my needs. I might have not asked you, hey, I want a shoe rack. But, you've listened to me, you see me and how I move every day, and you say, how can I make her life easier? That motherfucking shoe rack sure did that. Sure did. And I still have that shoe rack to this day, still using it. And I think that's what a lot of people are too focused on, like the paying the bills.
Yeah, like that's ultimately, like, the bills part is going to happen for either of the people, regardless if you're in a relationship. Like, that should honestly be, I don't even talk finances with people until I'm locked in with them for a while. Like, you won't even know whether I'm struggling or if I'm good. Like, you won't even know. That's not even a conversation we have
For
early.
sure.
But to close that out and get the fuck out of here, which is my own place, I just think people should get out of their own mindset. I think I'm just seeing a lot of women and men who are like 30 plus taking advice from 25-year-olds and 24-year-olds
Who are just not even there all the way. Still.
Yeah, like there is a huge effort in not only media. There's podcasts that are just, some people won't do my podcast because they think I'm about to just jump down their throat the fucking whole time. Like, I don't care. Like, I want people to have their own fucking personal opinion.
For sure.
I'm not here to argue with nobody. Like, I don't want to argue. I want you to have your opinion. I have my opinion. We don't even have to meet in the middle. We can go to the next subject.
No, for sure.
and just continue the flow of the flow of the conversation. Like, it is, I just want people to truly understand, like, the world is huge, right? Your circle is one of a million circles that exist. Focus on trying to, like, just do better every fucking day. Like, I'm not perfect, like, but every single day I try to, like, make it to the next and work my fucking ass off to continue to do this. This shit's not simple. This shit's not easy to maintain. Being episode 87 is up there. We're on the way to 100.
Oh,
100 is gonna be wild. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But 100, episode 100 is going to be the most wild.
You have to do like a behind the scenes and like a.
It's gonna be wild.
Like what?
I'm gonna take up all the visitor spots in the whole complex. We about to be 10 deep. It's gonna be a fun time. But did you have anything else? You want to promote anything?
Just always working on my business, y'all. Aware fashion design, custom special occasion stuff, alterations and reconstructions per usual. Yeah, I mean, let's it's 2023.
It was like 2021, I think, when she was last on. I don't know. It's been a while. It might have been 1988.
Yeah, another 5,000 years when y'all see me again. So.
Yeah, I'm done. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say, guys. Like, podding is podding. It's fun sometimes, especially when you have to fucking figure out visitor parking. But this is the Can We Talk podcast, episode 87. Thank you guys for listening. You guys enjoy the rest of your night.